What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Saturday. I wanted to jump in on the Budda Baker conversation because there's a lot of reports that not only Budda Baker wants to be traded, that's official, as we'll see, but now Eagles Twitter is going crazy saying, oh, the Eagles need a safety. Here's a really good young safety. Let's go mix and match and bring him into Philadelphia, as, of course, all Eagle fans do. Whenever someone's available for trade, we all freak out. But is it actually possible? Let's go through the contract, go through the facts, and let you guys decide here towards the end of today's show. So NFL.com has the article, Safety Budda Baker requests trade from the Cardinals. We've seen this coming. His social media habits the past couple of days have basically all but guaranteed the relationship has fried and severed in Arizona. Whether Jonathan Gannon has anything to do about that or not, who knows? A lot of tweets saying, oh, he doesn't want to play with Jonathan Gannon. I'm not quite sure about that, but still, there's a lot of turmoil in Arizona. Here's the report, quote, there is mounting unrest in the desert. Pro Bowl safety Budda Baker has requested a trade from the Arizona Cardinals. NFL insider Ian Rappaport reported Friday. News of Baker seeking an exit from Glendale comes after some cryptic social media activity in which he posted a Michael Jordan gif in regards to it becoming personal with me and removed the AZ in his Twitter bio. Following reports surfacing Friday, though, Baker returned to social media, expresses appreciation for the only NFL fan base he's played for. He says, love you, Cardinal fans. However, he has officially requested a trade via ESPN's Adam Schefter, and so now we're sitting in a scenario where could he actually make a lot of sense for Philadelphia? Well, let's first go ahead and look at his contract, because the contract is very important in terms of Budda Baker, and this is always the issue with the Eagles potentially trading for Devin White, or the Eagles potentially trading for DeAndre Hopkins, or the Eagles potentially trading for Budda Baker. All these superstar players that are on the trade block then become an option for Philadelphia via Eagles Twitter and Eagles Nation, but the problem that we always run into is the salary. Now, let me just say this. Budda Baker doesn't have an outrageous contract. It's not crazy. Look here. 2023, he has a base salary of $13 million, and then, of course, a cap hit of $16 million. That's not bad. That's like the seventh highest paid safety in the National Football League. 2024, $14.2 million, and a cap hit of $17.95 million. So mathematically, it does make some sense. Now, it doesn't make a ton of sense, and we'll show you that why here in just one second, but he's not like he has some sort of $25 million cap hit or $25 million salary because teams were backloading his first contract, therefore making it almost impossible for the Eagles to go ahead and get him. Technically, if you want to look at the over-the-cap NFL salaries or NFL current salary cap situation, Philadelphia's inside the top 10. They're sitting there with $19 million of cap space, $14 million of effective cap space. And right now, I'm talking about $14 million this year, Budda Baker, $14 million. A lot of you will say, Thomas, it makes a ton of sense. The issue that we have is twofold. One, they haven't re-signed Jalen Hurts. They haven't extended Jalen Hurts on the massive contract extension. They need some of this year's money in order to do so. Now, you can, throw dead money at the wall, and you can extend people longer and do all sorts of the weird cap stuff that Howie Roseman has always done. They'll need a little bit of money. You need a little bit of wiggle room there in order to re-sign or extend Jalen Hurts, and the Budda Baker contract would really kind of nullify that. However, the other situation that we have is, of course, the fact that Philadelphia had a chance at a really good safety in-house, and they offered him way, way less. And PhillyVoice.com has a really good, interesting article here where people were asking about the Budda Baker situation, and this is a perfectly, I would say, drawn-out conclusion as to why the Eagles wouldn't make this trade. Listen to this, quote, after a season in which C.J. Gardner-Johnson led the NFL in interceptions despite missing 5 games with lacerated kidney, the Eagles offered him something in the ballpark of a 3-year deal worth around $24 million, or approximately $8 million per year. When Gardner-Johnson repeatedly balked at that offer, the Eagles basically said, okay, well, best of luck, we're moving on. Gardner-Johnson is 25 years old. Baker is 27. He has scheduled salaries of $13 million in 2023 and $14.2 in 2024. Again, Baker's a good player and an outstanding run defender, but his current pay is $5.5 million a year more than where the Eagles were willing to pay Gardner-Johnson. And he's not happy with his pay. You have to give up a pick to get him pass, says this writer from PhillyVoice.com. And this is my whole problem with the Budda Baker situation is Philadelphia really going to give him $13 or $14 million a year? Did they really sign Terrell Edmunds to a super cheap 1-year pennies on the dollar deal just to turn right around and go, oh wait, Budda Baker, $15 million a year. Terrell, you can sit. Or Terrell, you can start ahead of Reed Blankenship, who's making even less and yet played very, very well towards the end of this past season. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for Philadelphia. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be happy if the Eagles did it. I've said this every single time a superstar trade player comes up in terms of this show or, on Twitter. Devin White. Would I love Devin White? Yes, 100%. Would I love DeAndre Hopkins? Yes, 100%. But do I really think it's going to happen? Am I going to sit here on my channel or on my show and tell you, guys, listen, they can get Budda Baker. We just need to rally the troops and spend the money and get Budda Baker, make this defense and secondary so much better. We've got to go do it. They definitely can. Here's why. No. I'm going to give you the exact reason why I think that this is happening, the reason why Philadelphia is connected, and then the reason why if I think it's going to work or if it's not going to work and the percent chance that it's going to or not going to work. And again, this is low. This is like 5%. This is like 10%. However, for those of you guys who are going to hammer the comment section, and please do, I'd love to see your thoughts on this. Thumbs up for the debate of getting a safety. For those of you who really, really want Budda Baker, here's a mock trade. Chris Infante has a very interesting mock trade here that you see on your screen. Pick 10 overall, which a lot of you will say I'm instantly out, which I might be too. But then you get 34 overall, 105 overall, and Budda Baker. So you would trade a first-round draft pick and get back a starting safety. You get back a very early second-round draft pick. I mean, that's basically a first-round draft pick, 34 versus 32. I mean, come on, it's like 2 picks back. Then you get a third-round draft pick and then Budda Baker. And that is kind of the final argument you're going to have to make in the comment section if you want him. This is what it's going to look like. Now, maybe it's 30 for 34, 105, and Budda Baker. Maybe you get to keep 10. But whenever I went ahead and suggested that Devin White might demand 10th overall, the Bucks might want 10th overall for Devin White, a lot of comments down below said, not a chance, I'm out. And I think that's probably where most Eagle fans will go, and that's kind of where I'm at. I think 10 is super, super valuable. And 10 is not super valuable simply because you can get a superstar player inside the top 10, or a lot of people will say this draft has 10 really good players, or really 7 or 8 really good players, and that's basically it. There isn't much after that in the first round, and anything past 10, you're gambling on if the player's going to even be good. Why 10 is super valuable is due to the fact that it's a rookie contract. And that's the whole problem with all of these superstar safeties and linebackers and wide receivers who want to go to new teams is you can get a superstar linebacker or safety or pass rusher or wide receiver at 10 and pay them pennies on the dollar for the next 4 years. That's the beauty of Devontae Smith right now. Devontae Smith has a decent contract because he is a first-round draft pick. It's nowhere near what DeAndre Hopkins makes or what Odell Beckham just got. It is pennies on the dollar and will be pennies on the dollar until the 4th year of the contract, where Philadelphia will then extend him to a fair market value offer to keep him in Philadelphia. It's just the first-round contract is what is so important to Howie Roseman and why I see it very, very unlikely he would get rid of 10 in order to bring in a player who, yes, is fantastic and Budda Baker is so good, but also is going to want a new contract and cost a bunch of money, and you're not going to keep him for maybe more than 4 or 5 years due to the fact he's going to want more and more money. So I think we officially need to be out on Budda Baker, and I will read the comments. I will not be, over judgmental on your thoughts if you really want him, but you got to take into consideration each of the little steps that we talked about in terms of here's what he's going to make now, here's what Philadelphia has in contract or in an open cap space, here's what you got to pay Jalen Hurts, here's the first round draft pick you would have to give up, and so on and so forth. I just don't see it happening. So I would love to see your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. As I said with DeAndre Hopkins, and as I said with Devin White, and as I'm now going to say with Budda Baker, this would happen on draft night. This would be Philadelphia sitting at 10. All of their top picks are off the board. They can't get Jalen Carter. They can't get Tyree Wilson. They can't get Skoronski. They can't get Lucas Van. Like, if everybody's gone, then maybe you make a trade like this. But we understand, as we talked about many times here on the show, there will be a player the Eagles love at 10, whether it's Van Ness, whether it's Carter, whether it's Anderson, whether it's Wilson, whether it's Robinson, whether it's Skoronski, any of them. Philadelphia will probably make that pick versus doing a trade like this. So give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thumbs up for a very, very fun Saturday show. Just looking into the idea of a trade, because trades are always fun, but I'm probably out. I think the Eagles will be too. I'm Thomas Mott on a Saturday. Plenty more content happening the next couple of days and weeks. Next week, I mean, we're almost getting close to the draft. We're so close to being officially there on draft week. 2 more weeks away, and then we're going to have a bunch of fun. Again, I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.